so we can match these two together, right?
Carolyn Bowen, Sean's wife, left the lighter at the scene of Abigail's killing. Her interrogation suggests that she saw her husband together with the victim. Does this mean that Carolyn is behind both the murders in this investigation?
Well, I mean, we can't say for sure, obviously.
Even if she had a reason for killing Abigail, she had no motive for Alma's murder.
True
but
that.
she may be able to provide us with information regarding Abigail's murder. I need a little more information from her. That's the little guy's job.
You might need to get out the hot iron for this one. Start poking her.
Oh, Dr. Kimishima, what's this?
It wasn't Sean who left the lighter at Abigail's murder scene. It was Carolyn. That makes her our most probable suspect now.
Really? I wonder what HQ's going to think when they hear this.
I don't care. I'm not interested in your office politics.
I know that. So, what do you think? Honestly.
I find it most likely that she's not the killer. Still, she may have witnessed something. If she finds herself our main suspect, perhaps that will loosen her tongue a bit.
I see. I'll use this info when I speak to her then.
You'll have to get out the hot iron for this
You're
one.
going to talk to her yourself? That's odd.
It takes a liar to catch a liar. I'm good at this kind of thing.
We've all got secrets, don't we? I'll be counting on you.
Are you really good? We're able to figure out stuff, and you're just like, I don't think we got anything useful from that, and we're just like, no, didn't you hear that part?
Oh, by the way, Abigail's cell phone has been repaired.
Great. Were the records of received calls intact?
She did receive a call during the time we believe she was at the restaurant. However, we've traced the call to a nearby payphone.
Oh, that's not helpful.
I see. I wonder if this information will lead us anywhere.
Is there any kind of recording devices near the
I'm going to ask
payphone?
around the area if there were any witnesses near the phone, but we don't expect much. Still, there's no doubt that that was the last call made to her cell phone.
I see. So there's a good chance that call came from the murderer after all. Abigail was called out from a public phone, and then she was killed.
We'll continue looking into the deal with the payphone. Oh, we spoke to the chef again, too. Check out the recorder when you have time.
All right, I'll listen to it later.
Okay, yeah, someone called her. I think we're gonna have to listen to the chef testimony before we can get much of anything else.
How'd she act? Let me think.
Nope.
I remember that she was talking on her phone.
Okay, good, that's what we
Remember
needed.
that she left the restaurant in a hurry soon after that.
That matches with the evidence, right?
The man who was with her left in a bad mood afterwards. No, I don't think that he went after Miss Abby. He left the restaurant an hour after Miss Abby did.
That's... wow. Was he hoping she'd come back, maybe?
I know that because I served a carafe of wine to the table.
Not that restaurants are suspicious for serving wine, but just the fact that we've already had a wine glass involved in this before.
I remember being disappointed because they ordered a very fine wine. The gentleman
Oh, wait.
gentleman
He drank it all before he left. Yeah, murder's kind of hard to do when you're severely drunk. At least calculated murder, anyway. Especially if you're trying to cover it up. Though it did say he drank a very fine wine. Maybe if we could analyze the type of wine and we matched it with that, that would be something of interest.
The man who was with her left in a bad...
Dr. Kimishima, we've received a recording.
More questioning? Who is it this time?
Carolyn Bowen, Sean's wife. Once they confronted her about the lighter, she started talking.
I see. I'll check it out.
Let's take a listen.
So what if my fingerprints were on the lighter?
That means... sure.
That's got nothing to do with... Huh? Why
it was like that.
Skank! I didn't report it because I knew I'd get dragged into this mess. Yes, that's right. I happened to be out that day and saw them dining together.
So you weren't at home all day. I see, you liar.
They were having the time of their lives, and I lost it.
You lost it.
I was going to charge in there and slap both of them.
But instead, I hit them with a big spear.
The skank left the restaurant still on her phone. I followed that slut, but just because I was curious.
She's much too vulgar for my taste.
Didn't want her to get away. Of course I was angry. She went into a warehouse not far from there.
Okay, this is
See
important.
too well from where I was hiding. But she didn't come out for a while, so I peeked into the warehouse. But she... and there was this hairy beast.
I don't think she's making it up. Maybe just someone in a big fur coat.
It was on top of her.
Oh. Top of the
Was
victim?
doing something to her hand with its terrible claws.
This is a bear attack.
I knew she'd been killed, but I had nothing to do with it. I mean, it serves her right. Did she think she could just steal any man she wanted? That's probably when I dropped the lighter. Of course, I didn't report it. I would have been the very first suspect.
You got that right.
I don't believe it. This is one weird testimony.
Yeah, well, what's up with the bear and his
Our
claws?
murder investigation suddenly turned into a monster hunt. We've had a sketch artist create a picture from her account, but are there any animals that size around here?
The weird creature went on a
Ridiculous.
rampage.
It's someone wearing a mask and some kind of costume.
Yeah,
I
probably.
thought as much. Could the killer be insane?
Some
Who
are.
can say? There's no way to know anything yet.
Crazy monster. Can we combine that with the other clue that has the same picture? Same killer. No, apparently not. What can we learn? Crazy monster. You can't analyze it yet. Needs more information. Wound and bruise. No. Get back to me with those analyses. I need them. Let's see. What am I supposed to do? Some kind of costume, and he did something with claws. I don't know. That bruise seems like the closest thing, but I don't know.
From the sketch, the murderer was
there we
wearing
go.
a mask.
We had whatever that weird piece of paper was, and that actually matched with the murderer.
Now I know what that white shard from the fireplace was. It must have been from the mask that the murderer was wearing while committing the crimes.
There we go. I don't know how you managed to piece that entire thing together from just that tiny shard, but okay.
Why would the murderer throw the mask into the fireplace? Whatever the reason, it helps to sort everything out.
That was a pretty far stretch. At this point, honestly, I was just matching things. Like, I didn't even have any idea what was going on.
These two pieces of information can fill
there we
in
go.
Abigail's
Cool.
timeline that night until her death.
Oh, you're right. I should have actually suspected that one.
When was she last seen before she died?
3 days ago, right? Yes, excellent.
That's right. She was seen at a restaurant that she was a frequent customer at. The one with her at the time was...
It was Sean. Yeah, she was there with me, and I was the murderer. I
Correct.
killed them all.
She was witnessed there with her boss. Afterwards, she left the restaurant alone. The reason she left was...
She had a phone call.
Yes, a phone call caused her to leave the restaurant immediately. But where did this call come from?
From a payphone. CIFM? What?
Indeed, the payphone near the murder scene. It's most likely that the killer called her from the public phone, then waited for the victim to arrive and ambushed her. That would be what happened on Abigail's last night in this world.
Who did the actual murder? You can't do anything with that yet. I think we're about done here. Yeah, let's back out and see what we got.
Okay, I need to sort out the information I have on hand. My main concern right now is the costume worn by whoever killed the two women. How did it end up in the fireplace in the Parker residence, where Alma was murdered? The most logical reason that can be considered at the moment is...
That... Yeah, well, to destroy the evidence, obviously. I thought it meant, immolated. I thought it just meant that he was the one that killed, Alma.
Yes. Putting it in the fireplace could be an attempt to destroy it. And if that is the case, something strikes me as odd about how Joseph, Alma's husband, was acting.
He was being really open about the whole thing. Not trying to destroy
That
the
is-
evidence. I'm always angry.
Yes. He confessed to Alma's murder from the very beginning.
So it would be odd that he was trying to
If he
destroy
was
evidence.
willing to confess, what reason would he have to hide any evidence? Let's assume for a moment that someone else is the real killer.
I've been doing that the whole
Can
time.
we follow this hypothetical person's steps? This person would have killed both Alma and Abigail. The first person to be killed would have been...
They aren't dead. Probably Abigail.
Right, Alma's corpse was found first,
Because that's where he destroyed the evidence at, which was after the
but
second murder.
Abigail had been killed before then. In other words, the killer wore a costume to kill Abigail, then killed Alma the next day, after which the costume was discarded into the fireplace. However, we haven't found the murder weapon yet. There were no traces of it in the fireplace. The killer would also have some connection to the two victims as well. We can assume that Abigail personally knew her murderer. The reason for this is...
She responded to a phone call. And you don't normally,
Right.
respond that
She
urgently to a
received
phone call
from a
when you're out to
payphone
dinner.
call her out.
Unless it's
The
important.
killer knew Abigail's phone number, and Abigail rushed out right after receiving the call.
Like if some random person told you to meet them somewhere, you wouldn't have a reason to do it unless you either knew them or it was something incredibly important. Probably both.
It's unreasonable to think that she would do that for someone she didn't know. Similarly, there's a good chance that Joseph knows the killer as well. This is because
He's lying to protect them.
yes, if that wasn't so, Joseph would have no reason to defend whoever killed his wife. So, is the killer someone that the entire Parker family would be acquainted with?
It's the cook. It's the cook. The cook did it. The cook. It's Scooby-Doo Mysteries right here. Scooby-Doo Mysteries, practically, if the cook
Dr.
did it.
Kimishima, sorry to keep you waiting. We've taken a look at the clock we recovered from the Parker house, and...
Oh, hello? Naomi, can you hear me?
What?
Alyssa? What are you doing there?
Wow, I can hear you. This guy let me in.
Little guy?
This girl said that she really had to talk to you.
All right. Alyssa, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
I'm gonna shake my fist
I
at
need to do
you.
some work with the man you're with. Be a good girl and be quiet for a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So, about that clock.
Yes, I heard that much. Get to it.
As you mentioned, the decoration on the clock matches the wound on the corpse's head. It probably fell off the desk and struck the victim's head. This may have happened while she was struggling with her assailant.
Yeah, I figured that much.
I see. Is it possible for that wound to have been the cause of death?
No, that's
No,
impossible.
that seemed
The
unlikely.
impact wouldn't have been enough to kill someone. We've inspected the exterior of the clock, but it doesn't seem that damaged either.
I see. Then... Little guy? What's that sound?
Is she playing music in the background?
Sorry.
Oh,
Looks
never
like
mind.
This clock is the kind that plays a little tune.
I bet that's gonna be an important clue.
Hey, Naomi?
Alyssa, you said that you'd keep quiet.
She can just hear the annoyance in her voice.
That clock is broken.
Broken? Where?
I mean, I know how this song goes.
Oh boy, the little girl's gonna be the key that holds the entire murder together.
This one part sounds all weird.
Huh? Little guy, has anybody looked inside the clock?
1 second. What the? Dr. Kimishima, there's something inside.
We may have found just what we're looking for. Thank you, Alyssa.
I don't know how you were supposed to get that the note was wrong because there was something jammed in there, but okay. That was really odd and almost entirely too convenient. Do we need to get it analyzed? We can just match it with stuff, can't we? Okay, fine.
I
Analyze
wanna
it.
know more about this weapon, little guy.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Why'd you let the girl in? Make her go away.
It's an X-shaped cross-section, and it's 25 centimeters long.
Well, that's long enough to stab straight through a person.
And it's shaped more like a stake than a knife. This isn't a commercially available weapon. This is just a piece of steel with sharpened edges.
Huh. So the killer made it?
It looks like
It
it.
seems that way. It's a poor cutting implement, but it could certainly be used for stabbing.
I see. This could be the weapon then.
Especially because it has blood all over it. Blood. Oh, okay, I was about to say, why'd you give me two different things for the weapon? A warped circle. Kind of like the circle on her hand, maybe. That would make
The shape on the
sense.
end of the weapon's hilt appears to match the bruise on Alma's hand.
The bruise in her hand was kind of weird. Did Alma kill her daughter?
This bruise could be from Alma pushing her hand against the hilt of the weapon.
As if she was stabbing someone in the
If that's
chest.
the case, then the person who used this weapon would have to be...
Alma used the weapon. Oh, Alma.
Yes. If the weapon is used by thrusting forward while applying pressure with the palm, then the only way Alma could get this bruise is if she was the one wielding the weapon.
And I'm kind of wondering what Alma's motive would have been for
But
something like this.
What does this mean?
It means Alma's the murderer. Okay, what does this have to do? Weapon blade. Same weapon that was used to kill her was the same weapon that killed you. Seems like. What about that?
If we put
There
these
we go.
together, it should be easier to identify the weapon. The victims, Alma and Abigail. They both died from being stabbed in the chest by a weapon with the same shape. Their wounds match the shape of the weapon found inside the clock. The two of them were killed with the same weapon, this handmade stake.
Seems pretty likely. Let's put all the, I can move these, right? No. I just want to move it. Okay, apparently not. I thought you could move them. These
Abigail was killed
There
by
we go.
a stab wound in her chest. The shape of her stab wound perfectly matches the shape of the weapon found in the clock.
I think he was trying to defend his wife from killing his daughter.
The bruise on Alma's palm indicates that she had been using the weapon. Abigail was murdered by Alma, it would make sense for Abigail to respond to a phone call from her mother.
That would make sense, wouldn't it?
There's also Abigail's final words to consider. Huh. Why would she say that?
Is she telling her mom to run, or an additional person to run? Is she exclaiming that at the appearance of her mom killing her, or is her mom at the scene and she's telling her mom to run? She thought Carolyn was Alma. No, dang it.
Concentrate.
She saw Alma from afar. That's the thing. It could be any of these based upon what she said. That's a very... Okay.
Concentrate.
She didn't know it was Alma. Fine. A little bit annoyed about that one. Because that one was a bit ambiguous. I don't think we could have made quite a decision from that yet.
That's right. The killer was wearing a mask and covered in fur at the time. Even as Abigail lay dying, she had no idea that her killer was her own mother.
So why would she say
That's
mom?
She called out to warn her mother away.
Oh, maybe her mom told her to meet her there. Still, I could see her possibly seeing Carolyn and thinking that that was Alma. You know, hiding and saying, "Hey, Mom, run!" You know, that makes sense, doesn't it?
From the phone call, she would have assumed that her mother, Alma, was somewhere nearby.
Okay. I feel like they could have worked that a little bit better.
But if Alma is the murderer, how did she end up killed by the weapon that she had been using?
I wonder if he actually did end up killing her. Just not the daughter.
Dr. Kimishima, the results of our analysis have come in.
Good. Which analysis was this?
The wine glass. Something else was detected in the residue.
Well, what is it?
We've detected traces of benzodiazepine in the wine.
Oh, that benzodiazepine.
Benzodiazepine. Isn't that used in sleeping pills and anti-anxiety medication?
That's right. It seems to have been mixed in with the wine.
Little guy, was there any benzodiazepine found in Alma's body?
No, why? The results of the drug test came up with a negative on that.
That's all right. I just wanted to make sure that she wasn't the one taking it.
Okay.
So who did take it then? Anything else? You've already analyzed everything, it seems. Who killed Alma? I feel like one of these is going to match up somewhere. I've already matched the same thing. Yeah, the only clues we have left that haven't been matched are... They were killed by the same person. Probably. Who did the murder? Killed Alma. And none of these match up with each other. Do we have to back up and get like one more final clue?
If we believe that Alma was the one that killed Abigail, then Alma put the sleeping medication into the wine. The one who drank it was...
Maybe Joseph? She put him to sleep?
Yes, her husband Joseph.
What do you mean? Are you saying...
That's right. Alma tried to kill Joseph as well.
But, Dr. Kimishima, isn't that just...
The weapon left a bruise on her palm. That is proof that she used the weapon.
But she was killed by that same weapon.
That's true. Let's stay calm and think this through. We have evidence that there was a struggle between Joseph and Alma, don't we? That is...
Yeah, I guess the blood on her sleeve. Yeah.
Indeed. The blood stains are quite likely from when Joseph was injured and grabbed Alma's wrist during the struggle.
Then, did Joseph kill Alma during that fight?
I'm just saying that this is one conjecture we could make.
But there's no motive. The family reportedly got along well.
Little guy, where is Mr. Parker right now?
Huh? He's still being detained.
Good. Tell him something. Tell him we found the weapon Mrs. Parker was using inside the clock.
All right, I'll do that. Where are you going, Dr. Kimishima?
I'm going back to the murder scene. I want to find Alma's motive.